Responding to the migration policies of the US President Donald Trump, EU leaders have said that Europe doesn't believe in walls or bans but in cooperation and partnerships. But at the same time, the EU is trying to do everything it can to keep migrants away, by increasing border and coast guard actions at the external borders and through cooperation with non-EU countries like Turkey and Libya, and also by re-establishing border controls internally. This week, member states in the Council approved a new extension of the border controls in 5 countries that are part of the free movement Schengen area. These controls take place in Austria, Germany, Denmark, Sweden and Norway. When the border controls were debated in the European Parliament on Thursday, some MEPs argued they were no longer necessary and should be abolished.
Definitely, they should not be in place. We can accept as an exception they should be in place for a short period of time. But what we are seeing is the current prolongation. We want to confirm the freedom of movement and the non-existence of border controls in internal borders.
A Commission representative, which also took part in the debate, said that the plan was to restore free movement within Schengen as soon as possible. The EU official also urged the member states concerned to only use border controls as a very last resort, after having examined alternative measures such as police checks. At the European Policy Centre, border and migration policy expert Frank McNamara says there is a growing resistance also among member states against the internal border controls. When the Council approved the extension earlier this week, the decision was taken by qualified majority, but 4 countries, Greece, Slovakia, Slovenia and Hungary, voted against. Frank McNamara believes that one can indeed question whether the internal border controls are proportionate, given that the inflow of migrants have come down substantially after the closure of the border between Greece and Turkey. He also thinks it's more and more difficult for the EU to criticize Donald Trump from a moral point of view, because the EU has its own walls.
Well, unfortunately, in late 2015, we did indeed see walls, long before Trump ever became president-elect or president of the US. I think that it's becoming increasingly difficult for member states and for the people of the institutions to point the finger at Trump disapprovingly in all of these migration policies, whether that's the ban or the wall.